All right, we're here on the beautiful beaches of Waikiki for a very special Mondays with the Mad Scientist. We got the man himself here, the Quick Blade Paddles founder, the Mad Scientist, Jimmy Terrell. Jimmy, we've just finished a pretty epic weekend, the Waikiki Paddle Festival. What'd you think about it?
Oh, it was insane. It was a really, really good weekend. Just all kinds of events, great participation, really strong fields across the board. The new format that Jamie Mitchell put together this year for this eliminator survival type race was just really, really fun. The way it started to the laps, and just it was a tough format. It was hard, challenging, and kept the group tight, and it was a lot of fun. And then today's downwind race was probably the best run I've had in the last 3 years that I've been over here for this race.
All right, how was the new Survivor knockout race yesterday? I know you're out there yourself because you were paddling in front of me for a while there. How'd you go, and what'd you think of the new format that Jamie came up with?
Yeah, the format was great. It was interesting, something new and different. I love the way it started. It was a really fair start. We planted our paddles up the beach a little ways, and you had to start off standing next to your board, sprint up, grab your paddle, and come back. So that left for pretty even starts for the most part. And the idea was just to kind of keep advancing. There was a couple of heats. Top 20 went to the final, so I think we started with 40 and eliminated 8 each round. And I survived 2 rounds. I think I got into the top 24 there before I finally got knocked out. And barely caught my breath before we started each round. So that was the tough part. If you're not conditioned and not fit, it was going to be really hard. And that's what paid off for the top guys, to prevail and be strong for that final run.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to give a shout out to your crew in the Quick Blade team. I know there was a lot of Quick Blade paddles around here this weekend, and some of your boys and girls did really well.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a lot of guys using Quick Blade, and my team riders, the Australian team, was obviously real strong too with Jamie Mitchell, young Jake, and we've got Kelly. He's always strong, Kelly Margits. They were all in the final 8, the 3 of them. And then young Matt Becker from Santa Barbara was in the Sweet 16 round. He did real well, as well as Brian Murphy and Anthony Vela. And then on the girls' side, we had Candace Appleby, finished strong 3rd. And that was a pretty exciting race. It was interesting to see a little bit of changing of the leads and whatnot. But we had a lot of good results in the women, too, with Morgan Hostry, Talia, and Jen Lee was here competing too. So Angie Jackson, absolutely. She's my she did really well. She was in the top final too, along with Canister. So, but the girls did great. It was a good field.
Absolutely. Now this event's kind of pushing the sport forward. There's new formats. It's all pretty exciting. You've been around stand-up paddle racing longer than just about anybody, and around kind of these sorts of sports with your sprint canoeing and that sort of thing for decades. Where do you think the sport's heading, and predict in a couple of years what this event would look like?
Well, the sport's really made some changes, and you're starting to see different disciplines of stand-up coming around. Right here in Waikiki, we didn't have much surf this weekend, but the way we did the racing with the short laps made it really exciting. And the downwind was just phenomenal. I mean, everybody loves to paddle downwind. It's a humbling experience for me, typically going downwind. Luckily, I actually managed to paddle pretty well today. I surprised myself. I only fell in once, which is pretty good accomplishment for me in the downwind conditions like that. But I foresee in the future there being, like, if you compare it to cycling, for example, you got mountain biking, you've got road cycling, you've got velodrome cycling, you've got all these different BMX, there's all different types of bicycle racing and competitions. Stand-up's starting to follow that same path, because you have the surf, there's the surfing, the surf race in and out, battle the paddle style, survival style. You're starting to see sprint races. Last year we did sprints at the Olympic Training Center up in San Diego in lanes, which is like typical Olympic style sprint racing.
All right, and one race I don't want to forget to mention is the Waterman and Waterwoman Challenge, which capped off this really fun weekend. It was kind of a 500-meter swim, 1,000-meter prone paddle, and a 1,500-meter sup, and it was really exciting for the crowd, and a couple of your crew were up there again.
Yeah, that was a really exciting race. I was busy recovering from my race and the relay race, but to watch that was just amazing. I haven't really, that's the first time I've seen like a multi-discipline or multi-event that involves SUP, paddleboarding, and swimming like that. I foresee a lot of triathlons incorporating SUP into one of the legs of that. But yeah, we had a really good showing from Allison Riddle. She's new to SUP, and Morgan was also on the podium there today. So both Morgan and Allison did really well. And then in the men's, Brian Murphy from California was using my blades, and young Jackson from Australia today was, I think Jamie Mitchell helped him find a quick blade off the rack there, and he went out and represented pretty well. I was pretty impressive to watch him paddle, not really, seeing him on the SUP scene yet. I'm sure that he has all the skills and all the tools to be, pretty competitive as well in that sport, along with his paddleboarding and swimming.
Absolutely, yeah, no, it was a pretty fun weekend, and I think you deserve to go and grab a beer and cap off an excellent few days here in beautiful Hawaii.
Absolutely, yeah, I look forward to a cold one right now. It's been a long, hot day in the sun, so time to go get a beer with my mates and my friends and have a good time.
All right, thanks, Jim. Thanks for Quick Blade Paddles, and we'll see you next Monday.
Thank you, Chris.